Tesla stock is about to go through a multi-year rally, and analysts and your hedge fund investors are far behind the curve when it comes to Tesla. Consider this: Tesla's most recent rally, the rally that has to end, according to these so-called experts, started on May 15th, when Tesla, really Elon, announced Twitter was going to get a new CEO. That has been the main reason why Tesla has been going higher. But really, the story goes far deeper than that. So we're going to talk about here in this video why Tesla stock is about to make you very rich, potentially hitting new all-time highs just within the next couple of months and starting a multi-year rally. If you like my perspective provided here in this video, consider tickling, touching, or smashing the like button. I don't care what funky things you like to do with it. Just make it turn a different color, okay? That's all we ask. Now, let's get into all of this information. Now, Tesla stock could break out to new all-time highs within just a few short months if this one thing happens. And that is Tesla beating estimates. This whole rally for Tesla has not been due to the markets expecting Tesla to sell more vehicles. In fact, the estimates over the past couple of weeks have actually been falling. This is, simply put, a rally due to Tesla getting its CEO back, which never left in the first place. So should Tesla really have fallen 75% from its all-time high to its low? Probably not. And that's why this rally so far, in context to the fall, really has not been that much. You're still trading under your August 2022 highs. That for Tesla was around $315 per share. But a continued rally from here all comes down to expectations. And of course, squeezing the short sellers, which are down almost $13 billion since the start of 2023. But back to expectations. The markets right now have a very low 2024 growth target for Tesla. You are only expecting 27% volume growth in 2024. That would equate to about 2.3 million deliveries. Now, if you consider some of the recent headlines that we have gotten out of China recently regarding Tesla, like this one. Last week, Tesla delivered 10,000 cars in China in a single week. I think it's safe to say 27% growth is far under reality. Now, why would the markets rally in the short term off of this? Again, it's all down to future expectations. The stock market does this beautiful thing called pricing in. That is why some stocks trade at really low PEs and some stocks trade at 1,000% PE, like Tesla did in 2020. Simply put, some stocks are expected to grow a lot more than others. Now, that's one of the biggest arguments that the bears have right now. The price to earnings ratio is high. And part of the reason why it's high is because Tesla has been cutting prices recently. But those price cuts are going to be offset by sales of FSD, which sell at 100% gross profit margin. So Tesla's main focus is delivering vehicles. The earnings will come from the software, from the full self-driving. That's what Wall Street doesn't understand. More vehicles equals more profit. Even if you're selling each vehicle at a smaller profit margin, smaller percentage, you're going to make a lot more to the bottom line if more people have Teslas and more people purchase full self-driving. And that's the expectation that will start to very shortly get priced into Tesla stock. The average analyst that covers Tesla only has a $201 average price target on Tesla. And we know that is wrong. At this point, Tesla stock is trading at $261 per share. They got to start raising estimates. And those price target increases are going to have a bullish effect to Tesla. But also the shorts. Short positions are getting blown up. Just in June, short sellers have lost over $5 billion. To date, from the start of 2023, they have lost $12.68 billion. That is almost the entire market cap of Snapchat that short sellers have lost. Just to kind of put that into comparison. That is bigger than the company of Crocs that makes Hey Dudes, my favorite shoe, so hopefully you know what those are. So, nonetheless, shorts are taking massive losses, bigger losses than what they seen in 2021 when Tesla was hitting new all-time highs. So this most certainly heading up into July 2nd and after July 2nd when Tesla gives us better than expected delivery numbers, short sellers are going to need to cover on some of these short positions. They can only go so long taking these kind of losses. And most of these shorts were taken when Tesla was under $150 per share. Some people thought this would be the end of Tesla because Elon was buying Twitter. That obviously did not materialize. So Tesla stock is likely to rally exponentially from here, possibly hitting new all-time high because expectations are too low. And Tesla is going to beat those expectations and force markets to raise expectations. The average analyst price target, well under where Tesla stock is currently trading at. You're looking at a potential to see a short squeeze. And one more thing, under allocation. Besides for BlackRock and Vanguard that have increased their long positions in Tesla by 200 to 250% within the last 6 months or so, other hedge funds really have not followed suit. There's less hedge funds that own Tesla today than you've seen in 2021. So there's potentially more buying to be had on a buy and hold long-term investing basis from hedge funds and institutions. Again, when Tesla outperforms, that tends to drive more people into the stock. And you're not even close to FOMO. Speaking of outperform, Tesla's margins might soon improve. This is because their metal costs have been falling across the board. Look at lithium. From $600,000 per ton, I believe this is in the Chinese yuan, so maybe that's like 10,000 US dollars per ton, down to 16,000 per ton by April of 2023. They have since went up again, but not nearly to the same extreme we seen in November of 2022. Same is true for cobalt prices that were, for context, around $70,000 per ton, now sitting at $29,000 per ton just in the last year. Same story for nickel. Nickel prices in December of 2022 hit a high of about 200 28,000, almost 29,000 per ton, down to about 22,000 per ton. So all your commodity prices for their metals to actually make the batteries, which is by far the most expensive component of Tesla's, have all been falling, which should be a good sign for margins. And if the bears really have a problem with the price to earnings ratio, if margins improve, well, that can no longer be used as a main bear thesis. We are also expecting production of the Cybertruck by Q3 of 2023. Now, what this will do more than anything is draw attention to Tesla. The last time that you've seen mass attention go to Tesla was when the Model Y was introduced. And that happened, ironically, around the lows of the stock market crash in 2020. And that same year, Tesla deliveries increased by about 84%. It was a huge driver to attention for Tesla. It brought people to their website, and I think the Cybertruck is going to do the exact same thing. Not to mention, there's over 1.5 million pre-orders that are already sold for the Cybertruck that just need to be fulfilled on. Let's not even mention the Robo Taxi network, which Elon first mentioned in 2016, but if you don't know what the Robo Taxi concept is, it's essentially where customer-owned Teslas serve as self-driving taxis, where Elon says 10 to 12 hours per week is on average the most Tesla drivers do in actual driving. So the vast majority of the time, Teslas sit there idle doing nothing in a driveway. Well, what if your car could go out and make you money? Could be a side hustle that you don't have to do anything for. And what if Tesla took 50% of the profits, or maybe even 30% of the profits? That could drive Tesla vehicles to have a profit margin of 70% or higher over time. And Elon Musk himself, when he was asked about the value that this could create for Tesla, he referenced Cathie Wood's analyst and how they projected Robo Taxi. And they said this could generate $4 trillion in revenue by 2027. That is 4 years away. I don't care how conservative you want to be. Say it only generates $500 billion of revenue. That's still multitudes of the revenue that Tesla is doing currently. Much more than what Tesla's doing in a year. Call it $1 trillion. Call it $2 trillion. I don't care what number you put on it. The market cap, total addressable market, I should say, could be massive for Robo Taxi. And ARK says this could create $4 trillion in enterprise value for or $14 trillion in enterprise value for Tesla in the process. This would by far make Tesla the most valuable company in the world. Now, with all of these things that we have talked about in this video, there's a lot of things that we did not mention, such as the branding of Tesla. That's almost as important as the product itself. Take for an example an Apple. The brand is so strong, Apple could make anything and they would sell millions of them because the brand is so strong. Tesla is creating a brand that will rival, if not be better than Apple. So I think that is something big to consider as well when you are an investor in Tesla. Now, the most beautiful thing about all of this that we have mentioned is the markets aren't really pricing any of it in right now. This latest rally has nothing to do with any of what we have priced in. Robo Taxi's not priced in. Branding's not priced in. Cybertruck deliveries fueling further growth for Tesla also not priced in. And do you know what else is not priced in? On top of everything else? Advertising. I am very bullish on advertising for Tesla. Where I live, the people that I know, they don't know about Teslas. They don't know about the technology. They don't know about the range. They don't know about the power. They don't know about anything. The most they know about Tesla is it's run by a guy named Elon Musk and he's rich. That's kind of where my demographic of people I know, that's the extent of what they know, I should say, about Tesla. So I think when you can educate the mass public in a way that other automobile makers do, that's where sales for Tesla are really going to ramp exponentially higher. I think if Tesla really starts to advertise, you could see their order book 5 to 10x in the next 2 years. I've talked about this before. If you are a viewer of this channel, I don't mean to sound repetitive, but I think people need to hear this. Advertising will change the game for Tesla. Once the markets start to figure that out, the stock's going to be past all-time highs at this point. That's why this is such a big opportunity in the short term, as well as how Tesla will make you rich in the longer term. Something that could also help Tesla stock to rally more in the next 3 to 6 month range could be the announcement of the Model 2. This would be your $25,000 vehicle that is really mass market, that is affordable to virtually anyone. This would have a similar mileage to a regular engine, right? You fill up the gas tank, you get 200 miles roughly. That's kind of what you'd be looking at with the Model 2. That is the nickname for the $25,000 vehicle, and that could be another reason why Tesla is looking to expand potentially multiple factories at the same time in North Mexico, another one in Europe, another one in that South Asian region. We've kind of heard rumors and plans for multiple locations. This could be something the markets would start to price in pretty soon. Markets tend to price things in. Again, back to what we said earlier in this video. Not to mention another big catalyst, which could come a little bit sooner for Tesla. And according to Morgan Stanley, this is certainly going to happen. And it's self-financing from Tesla, where unlike currently, where if you wanted financing for a Tesla, you would have to reach out to a bank, credit union, you'd have to go to a third party. Morgan Stanley says Tesla is about to bring this full circle. They're going to be the ones to produce the vehicles. They're going to be the ones to finance the vehicles. Basically, you'll just make payments on your Tesla to Tesla. They'll offer you insurance. Full circle. And why would they not do this? Tesla statistically, or Tesla owners, I should say, have higher net worths. They're usually homeowners. They make, on average, double the average American household's income, about $150,000. The average U.S. household is around $70,000. Most of them are pretty qualified borrowers. And Tesla, out of any other automaker out there, has the data to make a conscience good decision. So why not rake in some more money for selling these Tesla vehicles? If you were the one financing them and you collected interest, as long as people made their payments, you would do just fine. And there would obviously be financing options out there as well. So not all Teslas would be kind of on a payment process. But if they open that option, they could end up selling more vehicles, according to Morgan Stanley. A potentially positive catalyst on the near-term horizon. It also looks like, as of recently, your option activity in Tesla has been very bullish as well. Take a look at some of these trades. A January 19th, 2024, just 6 months from now, a $450 call for $200,000. A vast majority of these calls are above $300 for Tesla, and most of them expiring over the next couple of months. A lot of these January 19, 2024 450 calls coming through the wire. And most of these break-evens would set the stock $350 to $450. Some trades are targeting over $700 by the end of 2024 or by mid-year 2024. So either someone somewhere knows something, or everyone's trying to kind of get ahead of this. Look at this one. A January 19th, 2024, $566 call. This was a $132,000 trade. Some very bullish options that you are seeing. I like to look at options because it shows you a leveraged bet. Where hedge funds are leveraging their money. Are they buying puts? Are they buying calls? It can kind of give you a glimpse of what to expect in the future. So I'm very excited with what I'm seeing here. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this video. These are some reasons why in the near term, Tesla could hit all-time highs. In the longer term, make you a lot of money. And all-time highs would obviously also make you a lot of money. But I think the stock has a lot of runway for years to come, nonetheless. That is going to do it for this video. Hit the like button if you like my perspective, if you want to stay up to date with everything happening with Tesla, as well as subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.